Ever wondered what hidden tricks industry producers use to make their beats stand out? And I mean unusual methods such as having a pitched up sub bass or having 2 hi-hats play at once. Well, today we'll be diving into 30 loopholes that top producers use to make their sound unique and stand out among the crowd. To do this, we'll be exploring the sound of 4 completely different producers, replicating their bizarre methods and putting them to use. So hopefully by the end of this video, we should come out with a result of several beats which sound identical to beats from their primary producers. Let's break it down. So for our first producer, we have BNYX. Known for his uncanny drums, BNYX uses plenty of loopholes to create his unique sound. This one breaks a lot of rules and is full of surprises, so stay tuned. The melody's never really the crazy side of these Yeet beats, man. It's mostly the drums. We can start with this, that sounds crazy. Except for this. That's pretty cool, I like that already. Yeah. Okay, oh yeah. Woo, we're exploring that one out. Bring this up. Ah, come on, man, that's crazy. I'm putting some distortion on this melody, and this is a really big thing about these BNYX beats, man. Just distortion, like that is a really big part of the sound, you know, distortion in the melody and distortion in the drums. So straight up, man, let's get this distortion on the melody first. And like a phaser as well. Something that he uses a lot in his melodies as well is gliding synths. So of course with one shots, what's so good about this is you can easily make that gliding note. Of course we got a lead from Synth Pass again. We just get this little gliding note right here. If we get another lead and we can kind of layer that, that'd be sick. Let's get another bit crusher. This is completely free, by the way. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Just that little like wobble effect. It really gives me that BNYX sound. So when I make one bit down an octave and one up an octave, on a lot of his beats, man, you can hear the synth bass still with the 808. Like the lows are cut out, but you can hear it over the 808. That's just a bonus tip for you. I didn't even mean to do that, but that's a bonus tip for you, man. We got 31 tips now. So of course, man, let's go Synth Pass again and try and find it. Maybe this one. That's hard. But now we need something even meaner. So yeah. I know there's only like 3 sounds, but to be honest, like a lot of these BNYX beats, the melodies aren't the crazy part. He doesn't have many sounds as the melodies. And if we need more, then I'll chuck more on. Now it's drum time. This is where it's gonna go crazy. Now I'm on my hats. So now I'm going to bring this bass into my bus, which has that low end EQ. So like you just can't hear the low end, but you can still hear the actual bass. So one more tip that BNYX does on these beats is if you hear beats like No More Talk by Yeet, he has these hi-hats which are down like a whole octave, but they're like very subtle. So let's try and add that. Can it just be like something like that? We need to just add a few little rolls here just to add to that repetition. Now it's time for the 808, man, and this is a really big thing that he does as well, is he uses multiple 808s. Not only that, but some are stereo, some are mono, so we're gonna get really experimental with this one. We can just start with like a distorted one to kind of follow that distorted sound, as I said earlier on. So we'll keep this on here at least. Now let me just get like a wide one. So now I've done that, another thing that BNYX does is on his 808s, man, he uses a sub 808 and he pitches it up an octave. And you can hear this all over his production. I'm going to show you guys exactly how he does that right now. And like as soon as you hear this, you're going to know what I mean. I know we need another 808 there. Can we fit another one in there? That's crazy, man. Damn. Yeah. Oh my goodness, we need the bell. This bit's a bit self-explanatory, man. If you've ever heard a BNYX beat or a Yeet beat in general, then you already know we gotta chuck that bell in. There it is. Maybe open that as well. How BNYX starts a lot of these is just straight off the bat. Like, there is no hesitation. It just goes straight into it. Arrangement wise, you got to start off just beats going crazy. Start off crazy. There's no like build up. It just goes straight into it. Like this, just let it go. Yeah. The last thing, man, number 10 for the BNYX beat is we need random stutters just during the beat. You hear that so much on these beats, man. So to do this, man, I'm just gonna get like the next 8 bars that will come in, just shorten it like this. Yeah, if I try that in. Yeah, something like that. That's crazy. Pretty much we went through all 10 tips, brought it together, and I think it definitely worked because this sounds very yeety, BNYX-y. I guess that sort of style, you know. Takeaways from this is the ones that I got. Distortion in the melody and the drums. You already heard it in there, like everywhere. Literally, it's the whole beat. We have gliding synths, which is of course that top line, this sound. Drum focus, melody's not too crazy. We have literally 2 sounds for the melody. Subtle hi-hats down an octave. You can hear that here. You can see it in the MIDI. Using multiple 808s, some stereo, some mono. We have like 1, 2, we have 3, 4 808s in this beat. God damn. Bells. Come on, man. We've already got the bells in there. Use a sub bass and pitch it up an octave. Of course, we did that right here. As you can see right here. Repetition, letting the beats and melody stay the same for more than 8 hours. We had that going as well. And then starting straight up with the drop. As you can see, start with the drums. Crazy. Those random starts during the beat in the arrangement. As you can see, we did that here. And yeah, man, that's 10 tips that you can put together if you want to make a BNYX beat. I used them all and we definitely made something in a BNYX sort of style. So this is the first beat anyway. This is what it sounds like. Woo! Crazy. Damn. Insane. Running with Togo, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I think we killed that. Yeah, so that's the first one ticked off. And now for producer number 2. So for our second and third producers, we're diving into Southside and Wheezy, 2 heavyweights who've dominated the scene. It's almost impossible to go through a day without hearing their signature beats. So let's break down what makes their sound so irresistible to artists and the secret tricks they use to make their beats stand out. So we need to make a melody. The first trick that I've learned from them is that they have a lot of simple but wide melodies. So it leaves more space for drums and of course the vocals. Now I've got an Hourglab right here and I'm gonna go straight to the Synth Palace Vintage bank right here. Oh, I'm keeping that one on. Let's just do copy, paste. Now I might track this through Shadebox as well. Pitch this up a little bit. There we go, there we go. Now we'll export out. Oh, of course, man, I forgot we need to make it wide. So let's get a stereo shaper on there. Then we've got that one ticked off. Let's add some things to this. So of course, let's go to Synth Palace Vintage and just find some little things to put on top. If I reverse this, hold on, and bring this up an octave. Like that. Some strings underneath this would really help out. Maybe some underneath it, hold on. Just kind of add to it, you know what I'm saying? Add to that rhythm. I want some like higher sort of strings to go with that. Like some sort of pizzicato strings. But this is going to be a little bit quiet, just more in the background. Like that. It's got that bounce you can hear on both Wheezy and Southside beats, and that just shows, man, how simple you have to make these melodies. So yeah, now let's just get another bass from Synth Palace Vintage, just go underneath this. Woo! Like that, yeah. Did it up there. This is another tip that you can hear definitely on Wheezy's side is experimental sound design. This is more so for the drums, but now making a melody, I have kind of realized that he does it on the melody as well, so I'm going to tick that one off. Maybe if we just get a one-shot lead on here. Ooh, yeah, that, but like a different sound. I want like a little like brass rip right there. I don't even know if you can get that, but I can just hear it as like a counter melody there. Would that work? Or am I just being goofy now? Hold on. Oh, whoa, hold on. I don't hate it. Those high ones are a little bit too much. Now it's time for the drums. This is really where like a lot of the tips come in because of course they're both known for their drums. All right. This is one thing which Southside does, and I actually saw him do this in person. So when it comes to his hi-hats, man, this is, I don't know how he does it, but he has this paint tool, and I think because he's done it so much, he knows exactly how to do it, but he sticks it on a certain line, like maybe quarter step or half step, and then he just randomly puts it in. And the bounce that comes for it, fair enough. Maybe that's the way he gets his bounce, just by randomly putting it in. Pause. And because if we're giving a Wheezy, then I want to make it quite repetitive, so I might just bring it over. And so this is another thing, one thing that Wheezy does is he adds these low hi-hats, but they're very quiet. Like he has low hi-hat rolls, but as you guys can see, I want to bring this velocity down. This is one thing he does on Touchdown by Lil Baby. Like that. And this is one thing that Southside does a lot in his beats as well. You can hear it all over his beats, man. Right by the end of the 8 bars, he switched it up and he goes to third step right here. And he just adds like a little roll here. And he just changes up by the end. Now it's time for the 808s. There's a lot of tips here when we come to 808, man. Just wait for this. So for now, I'm just going to go like that. One tip I can say right now is what they do is they go to quarter step or half step and they add these little 808 rolls, just these slight ones, just every now and then. So we might just do it around here. Just having that change at the end again. This is something that I see Wheezy do a lot, which is with the open hat. And I see Southside do it too, to be fair. Gets this exact open hat and then literally just layer it with the 808. That's it. And so another thing that Wheezy does, to be fair, I'm taking a lot of Wheezy ones, is just these random snare rolls, man. Just very, very weird. You hear it on like that Nav song with Young Thug, Touchdown by Lil Baby. So many different songs that he's produced does this, just has these weird snare rolls. Let's do that now. Yeah, hold on. So one tip that I've heard a lot in these beats, whether it's Wheezy or Southside, is they have a kick under the 808 sometimes, but you can't tell. You would have thought it's just the 808 because the kick is quite quiet. It's very weird because normally you think kick, okay, it's got to be something loud, but like a sort of quiet kick just so the 808 hits a little bit more. That's something they do a lot. But you can hear the kick isn't too loud. This is the next thing I want to say, and I don't really have a name for it, but I'm going to call it like a very to-the-point mix, meaning there's not crazy drum sounds. It's literally snare, kick, 808, open hat, stuff like that. There's nothing too crazy in the mix. It's very like leveled and balanced. There's nothing too crazy, you know. I said the 808 ain't too loud. Before we get to the final beat, let's just go over all the tips. First off, man, melody-wise, it's got to be simple, but wide melodies. So as you can hear from here, melodies aren't too crazy, and it leaves a lot of space for the artist. Sound design-wise, something experimental, you know. As you can see from here, we're going from analog synths to then using pizzicato strings, staccato strings, brass, you know. With the hi-hats, playing in random hi-hat notes with the paint tool is sauce, man. Also the hi-hats, man, switching to third step hi-hats at the end of the 8 bars, or just changing up at the end of the 8 bars in general, is some sauce, whether that's 808 or the hi-hats. Low hi-hat rolls with low velocity, that's something that Wheezy does. So the low velocity hi-hats aren't crazy in the mix, but they are there. And then after that, we have random 808 rolls. As you guys can see, at random points, I just put like little 808 rolls in, just to kind of complement everything else. And it's just a nice little tweak that they put in their beats. And layering the open hat with the 808 and kick, it's just hard, man. It always sounds good when you layer it together. Experimental drum placement and just random snare rolls. That's something that you see Wheezy do a lot. And I've done that at like the end of every 4 bar. And then for the 9th tip, man, is to make that kick layer over the 808, but make it quiet. This is great because of course it just makes the 808 hit a little bit more, and it doesn't sound like there's even a kick in there. So it's a very to the point mix, meaning that the 808 and the kick are just hitting, and there's no crazy perks and stuff like that in between. And yeah, man, so that's the 10 tricks that Southside and Wheezy use to make the beat sound fire. Let's listen to the final beat. Woo. Hard. Yeah. That's crazy. just so much space, you know? Yeah, yeah. And finally, we've got the GOAT himself, Metro Boomin, a producer with one of the most iconic and unmistakable sounds of this era. His beats are instantly recognizable and have helped shape the entire genre. Let's dive into the tricks behind his signature style and use them to wrap up this video with an absolute banger. Let's get to it. All right, you guys, so it's actually a whole new day of me recording this right now. And yes, straight off the bat, man, this is the first tip. It's to use a website called UDIO for a sample. This is what I'm pretty sure Metro Boomin used on the BBL Drizzy disc. What you're doing here is you describe what song you want. So I put Dark 70s Soul song in the key of C minor with a female vocalist singing about never seeing someone again. Shout out to Jack Pan, I completely stole it from him. Let's just listen to some.
I love to say I'm aching.
Yeah. This sounds crazy itself. I'll just listen to this normally. Any of these is gonna work, I feel like, at this point. To be fair, this is hard.
It's been a sweet. I'll never see you again.
Oh, what the heck? Maybe this one. Okay, hold on. Just straight off the bat, I don't even care what the lyrics are. That sounded sick. So I've got the instrumental here. Let's just try and chop this up. Change it here.
I'll never see you again.
I'm gonna chuck a piano on it to go underneath. Is that too low? I kinda like that. Maybe like some vocals. So now for another tip, man. So there's a lot here where it comes to drums. The first one I've got for you is to go to Memphis Drum Archives. A lot of his drums are inspired by 3-6 Mafia. Definitely go for that vibe with the drums. And to do that, these sort of Memphis Drum Archives you can get online for free is just great. So as you guys can see, we have this hi-hat and we also have this hi-hat sample. If you listen very closely to Metro beats, he uses 2 different hi-hats in one beat. I think it's on Type Shit by Metro Boomin. One little point where that break comes in, you can hear a different hi-hat playing like on the right instead of the left. That's what he does. So we're gonna do that right now. And that. Power to the left, power to the right. Get that snare in there, obviously. Now let's just get a kick underneath that. Right, now we need a sub bass. Up an octave. Now let's just put some more open hats in. Alright, man, so for another tip, if you listen to Superhero by Metro and a few other songs, he uses this kind of vox that just kind of hits on the one. Very random, but that's just something he does. These first step hi-hats are just sourcing itself. I don't even know if I mentioned that, man, but bonus tip. How Metro has these hi-hats is, as you can see, it looks off the grid because I went to here and I went to third beat, paintbrush tool, meow. And then bam, you got the Metro hi-hats. One thing that you can hear on Metro beats is the drums aren't really hitting that hard, but just enough. He literally purposely makes it so it doesn't slap too hard and there's so much space. So I'm gonna try and do that when I'm mixing right now. All right, so yeah, we have the initial drum bounce right there. And this is another tip right here, which is adding these gaps in the arrangement. More time at the end of the chorus. So this would be the end of the chorus. And all I'm just gonna do is literally just simple. Okay, so I feel like it needs something here. So this brings you to the next tip, again, which is to add horror strings. If you listen to Savage Mode 2, there are just dark strings all over that. Okay, wait, if I put this in. Oh my days, hold on, yeah. Do those tension notes. Bring it down. There you go, hard. So now for the next one, it's to have some sort of brass coming in and out at some point in the verse. We're gonna use a brass that Metro Boomin use in Type Shit, and it's called a Biggie brass. All right, so now for the next thing, which is also what I'm gonna do in this verse, is we're gonna change the 808 out to like a distorted 808. You can hear this on a few Metro songs. He switches from a sub to like a heavily distorted 808. We're literally just gonna go to sub 808 and just copy and paste the pattern, really. All right, man, so I think we now have the final beat. Of course, before we listen to it, we got to do all the takeaways. So you got to use UDO to find a sample. It was actually what Metro used on a BBL Drizzy disc. Using 2 hi-hats, but panning them both at different sides is definitely something that Metro does. It sounds crazy. And go to Memphis Stash for drums. You can get off Reddit. These Memphis sounds, perfect for this. Have a random box playing at the start, as you can hear from the Superhero track. This is what I didn't hear as well. Mix-wise, having the drums not to hit crazy hard. Perfect for these sort of beats, you know. And then adding gaps in the arrangement, as you can see, I did that here and here, and just something that Metro has always done. Using horror strings is something that you can hear a lot on like Savage Mode 2, that sort of production, and I've used that here at this section right here. Having a brass coming in at some point during a verse, this is what I did on the next 8 bars after that. I added this brass right here, as you can see. To add to that, I also switched from a sub bass to a distorted 808, which really does help complement that brass, having them both play together. Using those third step hi-hats all the way across is something that you can use just to get a signature Metro sound. That is 10 things you can take away from Metro's production. So total now we have over 30 production tricks. This is the final beat.
In shadows where you used to be, I wander through this pain I feel. Memory haunt me endlessly.
Wait for the drop, man.
It's been a sweet. I'll never see you again.
Yeah. Crazy. Little box comes in here, and then it cancels out right here, where you can hear the other hi-hat. Ooh, and then those strings come in, crazy. And then we've got a brass come in, and the distorted 808 too. You ready? Woohoo! This is hard. Yeah, crazy. Alright, you guys, so that was the video. And first off, man, I want to thank you guys for 30k. That's crazy, man. We hit 30k so quick, and we're growing so quickly right now. So I want to thank everyone who's been subscribing, liking, and just watching the videos, man. It really does help. Of course, man, if you want the sounds I use in this video, majority of them are from St. Palace Vintage. You've seen it in use, so but yeah, man, if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want down below. And man, we got to get that plaque soon. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.